What's going on, everybody? My name is Chris Poole.
This is Brad.
And this is Caleb.
And welcome to our first ever episode of our tier list with the guys. Today we got Pixar movies. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Sit back, turn it up and let it ride. Tune in any day or any night. You need to hit the like and please subscribe right now, cause you hanging with the guys.
All right, let's get right into it. Let's just go straight in order of what we got here. My opinions, it's not, this is an equal opportunity podcast or tier list. So if anybody wants to start with any specific movie, we can. But with Up, I don't want to get bashed or drugged right here, but
It's B tier.
I've only seen Up like once.
Up is B tier. It's B tier. Think about the movie. What else besides the movie, besides that first scene, was just fire?
Russell.
I don't remember the movie. I don't.
There was that first like 3 minutes of the movie that was like, dang, they went crazy, and then the rest of the movie was just average.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
I like B. I agree. I'll give it that. I like the characters more than I like the story.
Like the story's decent, but like the characters are really good. Like what's his name? Carl, is that the dude's name?
Yeah, the old man.
Yeah, Carl and Ellie, like they went crazy, but like the bad guy is kind of like The story, the story is nice, but like really the only like S tier, most memorable, like went crazy is that first scene.
I was told, like I remember listening to people talk about Up specifically, and I just know that after rewatching it, they said as an adult it hits different when you get in relationships and you find love and stuff.
Right.
I don't remember the movie enough. It was not a movie that when I saw the first time I was like, oh, this was amazing, I got to see it again. So that's just how I feel. But
I don't even remember like what they do, like who
exactly
they fight or anything. I just remember the characters, so that's why I'm like.
And so let me backtrack for everyone watching this. Pixar doesn't make bad movies, so like this tier list is like just ranking Pixar. If we were comparing Up to any other like animation film, it would be S tier, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, but compared to other Pixar movies, like
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Toy Story 1. First Toy Story. I'll let Brad start.
Ooh. I'm biased. This is S tier for me. I see.
Okay.
So me and my girlfriend have watched. We were like watching all the Toy Story movies over again, and it's mid.
I agree. Look, okay, so I don't give. You know how some people give brownie points because it was like, oh, that's the one that started it all. Without this, no, we're not talking about that.
It was innovative, but like
it's not better than Up.
It's not better than Toy Story 2.
Oh, it's better than Up.
It's okay when it came out, yes, but like it didn't age as well as the other Pixar movies. Like
the story, like watching it over again, it was low-key kind of boring.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's not a bad movie, like the same thing. It's not a bad movie, but
I'll
like,
give it A. I would say it's A tier. Now I think it is better than Up. It's better than Up. It's better than Up. But when we get further along, y'all will hear my, opinion.
There's other movies on this list that I would put S over that.
Monsters U.
It's not better than Up.
I'll shock you here. I really like Monsters U. I really like Monsters U. I think that for a prequel is very difficult to do, and like the story just makes a ton of sense of like
it does,
of bleeding into why they're such good friends in the original Monsters Inc. Because if you remember Monsters Inc., the original first scene where they're like in the room together and they're like close friends, you don't understand how that worked because Mike was clearly like this geek nerd guy, and then Sully, right? Sully was like this like cool like bigger dude, so that really tied in well when you when you get the backstory of like how that all happened. So I really like it. I think it's better than Up. If you want to say it's not A tier, I'll give you that. But I think it's better than Up. Me personally.
I don't know that's better than Up.
Let me give you my reason for liking Monsters U. So,
okay,
literally when we were at least, yeah, I mean we were all pretty much there when we were going through college. That's when this movie came out. We all enjoyed it when we were little, and it came out. Even if it wasn't like the best, I mean, just the experience of having that happen again, I would put it in at least A, because that brought it full circle.
I mean, I've only seen the movie like maybe twice, so I'll defer.
Okay, so A it is. Finding Dory. We like I said, like for a Pixar movie, I think I've seen it once.
It was not that great.
When I saw it, it was solid.
I mean, characters like every Pixar movie, like characters are solid, but like,
I think that we can leave it there. Honestly, Cars. I think we should do Cars in order. I think
Cars. They went crazy.
Yeah,
they went crazy.
Original Cars, like, bruh. Cars 2. I don't recall the
D. It's like
Cars
it's the
2?
worst Pixar. It's the worst Pixar.
Which
movie.
one was the one with the like the villain with the They were like there was a huge race and they were trying to switch to electric vehicles or something.
That's 4.
That was 4.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't even know anything about.
There was a Cars 4. You mean 3? I don't think there was a Cars 4.
I mean, is it 3? It's the last one, whatever it is.
Okay, I don't remember Cars 2. If you could enlighten me on the story.
They were like spies and.
Yeah. Compared to these movies, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but compared to those,
I'm not gonna argue over C or D because I'd put it at C. But
Cars 3, I think, was a little better, like more watchable because of the gas versus electric. At least it like kind of, shows like a internal conflict that actually kind of happens in the country of like, or in the world of like the gas makers being jealous of the electric industry and saying, oh, it's not really sustainable, it can't compete with us, and then they're saying, oh wait, they are doing a better job. And now after this movie, all the gas makers are now like, we want to make electric vehicles. So like, I think it actually was a little ahead of its time in terms of story. They were forcing it. It's not better than Up. I don't think it's on the same level. I would say C, but I would be willing to go up to B.
I mean, I don't have a strong opinion.
I don't either. I don't even remember Cars 3 that much at all. I'd have to
I think that's the most recent one I've seen.
Visually, it looks very good, but S tier,
yeah, it's just.
Come on, we should be talking about greatest animation of all time. We would talk about Incredibles. Maybe it was just the timeline of like when it came out, but I think the consensus is that Incredibles is like a top tier.
Yeah, like the characters, the villain, the actual story, like it just works.
If y'all want, we can talk about Incredibles 2.
I'm done.
I really like Incredibles
I liked it.
2.
I don't know that it's S tier.
I think it's better than these two easily.
I put it at B.
I put it at B.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, but it was good because of nostalgia. I feel like not because it was just
I think that they couldn't have done anything differently, in my opinion. Like when you think of the story, it would have been hard to make a sequel make sense. But they developed Jack a little bit in terms of like how he was multi-powered. I'll say.
I mean, it was a good movie, but like it was kind of slow and very predictable.
If you ask me what I would rather watch, Cars, Toy Story, Monsters U, or Incredibles 2, I would pick Incredibles 2. That's how my brain is working. But I understand what you mean. It's not on the same level as Incredibles 1. Ratatouille. Caleb, any opinions? I can't really.
It's up there.
It's solid.
It's up there.
I think at least an A.
Yeah, it's up there.
I would say it's an A. I wouldn't put it up in an S. I think it was a really creative movie for the time. Like, people didn't really think about it. But I wouldn't say the rewatchability for me is as high as Cars or Incredibles.
Yeah, but like the storyline is up there with the best of them
Yeah.
in Pixar for
Like,
Ratatouille.
I'd put that at the top of A.
So over.
I
Okay.
think over
would-
Toy Story. Yeah.
Yeah, I would watch Ratatouille over Toy Story.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. Necessarily disagree with that. Good Dinosaur I have not seen.
Neither have I.
I know Caleb has seen
It's a D tier.
This is all
man.
on Caleb.
It's a D tier. Like,
Ooh.
I was trying to get with Good Dinosaur. Like, I like Arlo, but like, it's a D tier. It's probably it's one of the worst Pixar movies. Like, I'm sorry, I tried, I really did, but maybe I need to rewatch it. Like, maybe it's an
trust
age
you.
thing, but nah, just wasn't feeling it.
Bug's Life. Now I am
Oh.
super. So I see. I think DreamWorks was with Ants, right? I liked Ants more than Bug's Life, and a lot of people say absolutely not. Absolutely,
I like
not.
them both.
But like Bug's Life just had more like it just seemed more lively and more kiddie. Ants I felt like it was more dramatic and it hit me different. I think Bug's Life is really good, but it gives more nostalgia for me specifically because of the video game on Nintendo.
Yep, the Bugs Life video game.
Yeah, so
Yep.
yeah, in terms of the actual movie, I think it's around B. But I do give it the bonus points. Like, I would be swayed to go to A because of like the lore behind it, if that makes sense.
I would say of the like older Pixar movies, I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while, but I might prefer it to Toy Story.
I'd agree.
That
Yeah,
might be
Bugs Life
true.
The
The original Toy Story, that might be true.
I might prefer Bugs Life to Toy Story.
That might be true.
Yeah.
And I love the original Toy Story. I don't want to dog it that much.
Like it's a good movie, but like
yeah.
it's
great movie.
yeah, but it's not like as elite as
Yeah.
people would say just based on nostalgia. WALL-E, it's S tier. Let's not even.
I disagree.
You
I
disagree?
disagree.
Whoa.
WALL-E for me just didn't do it.
What?
It never did it for me.
Go
I know
rewatch
everyone said that. It did not do it for me, man. It is not nowhere near. And like I said, these are all good, really good movies. Nowhere near Incredibles or Cars.
What didn't you like about it?
It
Story?
just didn't
WALL-E,
do it for
like
me.
visually, like the characters, the story. Like
Yeah.
WALL-E is.
Look, I'm being generous
It's funny.
because there are a lot of movies I would put it like behind Heat. Like,
you would put it behind Up.
yes. Like I do. I was not a
no.
huge
I don't
Up.
know about that, my guy.
But I
I'd
think
put it-
the rule for this
yeah.
has to be, and we talked about it before, that S has to be unanimous. I think.
Yeah.
okay,
I
we
will
can
put
put
it
it.
at the-
We can put it high. I would put it at high A.
I'll put it
High
there
A,
for you.
yeah.
But I was not a huge Wall-E. Monsters Incorporated. It's up there. It's up there for me. Like I said, I really like Monsters U like just as much, if not a little better. I would say it's not quite like it's right up there.
I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it in S tier.
I
me
would think that
personally.
if Monsters U didn't come out, I would be more inclined to put it S, which sounds weird.
I don't know. It's a really
I think
good.
it's better than
movie.
Ratatouille though.
I'm trying to see. Is it better than WALL-E? Monsters Inc. is not better than WALL-E, and if we're not putting WALL-E S tier,
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean it's.
That's fair.
I don't know.
They're all good movies. Like that's why I feel like WALL-E should be S tier because like
I just can't. I'm sorry. Like I could be swayed on others. So Wall-E just doesn't. I feel like maybe if I rewatch it, but like
It took me a long time to get into Wall-E.
maybe
but you have to
I'll
like
give you that.
if you actually like.
there's too many
think
other
of the
movies
message
on
of-
here that I enjoy more than Wall-E for it to be S tier for me. So in the sake of time, let's go on to Inside Out. Underrated movie, very underrated.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, but in all the lists, it's like the top Pixar movie, so
It-
I don't see how it's underrated.
No, like you don't hear people putting it up here. Like you don't hear people, I mean, like general public say it's on Incredibles Cars level. I think that the story behind what it's trying to say is like one of the deepest, but I don't think that in terms of like a fun like box office hit, it didn't do that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I wouldn't say it's S. I will say I don't think it's S. No. It's really good though.
I don't know. I'd probably say it's B. I mean, it was a great story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just, there was something about it that just made it seem a little bit too forced for me. Or it could have went deeper. Like, it was in between. Like, it could have went like really hard hitting about emotions and like life.
Yeah, you're right. They kind of
watered it down a little bit. Yeah. Now, I'm about to get drug in the streets.
No, Coco is the best Pixar movie.
I'm about to get drug in the streets. I've never seen Coco.
Oh,
you need to watch
drug
Coco
together.
You've never seen it?
Coco is.
I've never seen
Coco
it.
is S tier. It is.
I know. I've heard, and I'm not even gonna argue. I've heard that
it
is.
It's the best Pixar movie.
I've heard it's S tier.
Like it's funny, like the music, the story. And like at the very end, like it hits you too. Like
I would say I've heard it's better than this, but I have not heard that it's better than Incredibles.
Yeah,
it's better than Cars. It's better than Cars.
Yeah, I don't. Dang, I've seen bits and pieces just like being around kids and stuff.
Like you should watch Coco. Like that one is, especially it's Halloween time. Like
all right, let's continue the dragging from Chris. This is my least favorite Toy Story.
Interesting.
Toy Story 2?
Toy Story 2 is my least favorite. I said earlier that it wasn't, but I didn't want to spoil it. It is my least favorite Toy Story. I think consensus-wise, everyone says it is the best Toy Story.
I think it is the best.
I think that art-wise, it was good. But think about, the story was kind of just like Zurg and he gets stolen, and then it just was very like, what? Compared to the first one.
I mean, you're right. You're right.
I mean, we could talk about the other two. So, like, the other two actually talk about, like, internal conflict within humans, how everyone grows up and everyone has to move on. And then Toy Story 4 was, like, the same thing, but from the perspective of the toys. And so, like, I really enjoyed 3 and 4 a lot.
So, are you saying that 3 and 4 are A and S tier?
I would say 3 is really up there.
I like 3 a lot too, because I mean it's another thing like how Monster U was.
That timing, the
timing, like going to college. Yeah.
3, I thought 3 was really good, and 4 is super. Like in terms of graphically, and like they really did their thing on. Like if you watch this like 4K HD, like this movie looks amazing. It looks really, really good. And
I've only seen 4 one time. I
think that the story does get a little muddy in the middle where they're. But the thing is, Caleb, like I understand every single level where there was the girl. I don't want to spoil it, but the little girl doll toy that lost the voice or whatever. Like that was like, yeah, she was evil, but was she really though? Because Woody had already experienced what it was like to feel love. So like it was just like a super complex. I really like 4. I would say if I had to choose to watch one, it'd be a toss up between 3 and 4. 1, 3, and 4. 2 to me just doesn't do it. Like it's cool. Pizza Planet and 1 is what brings me back, and like the claw, like claw that does it way more for me than Toy Story 2. I don't want to hog the mic, but that's how I feel about the Toy Stories.
Okay.
I mean, Toy Story 3 for me, I think it was. I like Toy Story 2. I've watched Toy Story 2 the least out of them, besides 4. I've seen 4 once. But I don't know, Toy Story 3, I mean, like it was like after all those years, everything coming together. Plus, it was funny with literally an entirely new cast of toys, and like I don't know. I can't speak for 4 though. 4,
I think that 4 did a really good job of introducing new characters with Key and Peele and stuff like that. I agree. It's not quite as good as 3 in terms of the tier. I will say, though, for me personally, and I don't want to sound too soft here, but Toy Story 3, I wasn't that sad about. Like, when they were, that scene. I don't want to spoil it if no one's seen it. But Toy Story 4 hit me. That ending, there was 2 parts. So, I can't say what else, but I'm going to spoil it. Spoiler alert, skip ahead in the movie. When she doesn't get played with, the girl, and then there's that little lost girl, I was like, my heart.
You're right.
And then when he finally is like, you know what? Buzz and Woody were having their final, I'll see you around moment. That hit. Because Toy Story 3, you always had in the back of your mind that they're going to get saved. Toy Story 4 was like, they're like, this is it. Like, they are splitting. Like, what are the odds that they meet ever again? They're just a toy in a small world. So if a movie came out, it would be one or the other. It wouldn't be both of them. So it really hit for me more than Toy Story 3 emotionally. But overall movie, I would say I'd give that to 3.
Well, Toy Story 3 was there, was it known that there would be another Toy Story after that?
But I just had that feeling when it was happening. I was like, there's no way. I just had that.
I get that.
Toy Story 4, it was like, there's no way. But there's no way that they could, end back up. It would be too generic of a story. I think that is the last Toy Story, unless it's a reboot, with completely new toys.
Okay.
Or it's a just Buzz, just Woody.
I don't know. I need to watch 4 again.
I'll give it B. I think we could revisit this list maybe if we all just binge watched all of them, and maybe The Good Dinosaur will go to S tier. But we can talk about Brave. Sorry. I have not seen Brave before.
Brave is a solid B for me. I actually enjoyed it more than Incredibles 2 and Up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen it, Brave?
I like Brave, yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time. Marina really likes that movie too, though. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'd probably watch that over... I'd watch it over Incredibles 2 for sure.
Okay, I'll put it there. Nemo. Nemo to me is just under S.
If Wally's not S tier, neither is Nemo.
Yeah.
Nemo to me is not. Nemo to me is not S, but I would rather watch it than Wally. To me,
if Wally's not S tier, that's the standard. Wally is. Sorry, man.
I'd have to disagree on that one. I think I'd watch Nemo over Wally on this one.
Okay. I watch Nemo over Wally.
Yeah.
Nemo, how he was trying to be just the perfect shark, or not eat fish. It was just so funny, and it still is to this day.
You're right.
With Dory being Dory, a whole movie of Dory being dumb is kind of okay.
Yeah.
But it was a perfect amount. And then the dad was like, "Come on, we got to do this." And then Nemo was chilling, it wasn't that big a deal. And me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right.
So that was me. Onward, 2020. The last movie I saw before quarantine came out on my birthday, actually.
So it's up there.
It is up there.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
The thing I will dock it for is the build up to the ending, but that ending was another emotional Pixar. I didn't see that coming. When I'm spoiling the movie. When he was basically I don't need to see him because I've had a dad. That brother being the role model.
Yeah, that was that hit.
So I would say it's between B and A for me. I've only seen it.
See, I'm sure that hit a little bit. I'm sure that hit harder for y'all too, just because y'all are all brothers.
Yeah, we had our dad. It just I know so many people that have been through that. I never really knew my dad, or maybe they passed away, and it's he was realizing I've been trying so hard to meet him, but my brother has met him, and his brother was so strong. You know what I mean? Like he was like, yeah, I met him, but I'm trying to be a good example, kind of. So I thought it was really, really well thought out. It just the middle kind of.
I've never seen the movie. I just know that it's really good.
Oh, you gotta see it, man. The ending is like it's a good one. What do you think?
I know what happens. I think in the end. I don't want to say.
You probably are. You might be right.
I know it was spoiled for me, but.
Caleb, you've seen Brave, so you can kind of compare the two.
It's better than Brave. Let's just put it B. Like. Okay. Especially because Brad hasn't seen it. Let's put it B.
Soul.
It was okay.
I know I'm supposed to not say that because like it was made for the blacks.
It was okay.
It was made for us, but like it was cool.
It was. I mean, it was good, but like watching it again, like
straight. It didn't. It was supposed to be a movie about black culture, but it wasn't. Like it ended up being like a white lead.
I felt like technically like the visuals of it and like the concept of it was really good. Where it lost me was like they didn't dive deeper. It's the same thing with Inside Out. Like they could have dove a lot deeper into like what it means to have soul. And it's like it's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
It's better. It might be up here, but it just
I put it at the top of C.
Yeah. We can stop there, but in Luca, I don't think I've seen Luca. Is this the newest one?
Luca's really good. Also, like it's okay. Like I said, none of these are bad movies. It's just Luca didn't do it for me either.
What would you say being? Have you seen it, Brad?
No. I haven't seen the most recent one.
Luca didn't really do it for me like that either. Like
under Soul.
But I don't hear anything about it at all.
I would put Soul higher.
Soul wasn't bad. Like I would like. It's one of those movies where you have a high expectation because you're like, oh, they finally did it for us.
Yeah, and like after watching it, I was like, that might be the best Pixar movie. But then going back,
I was not on that train. The music, like the keys, when he had, it was cool, and I like that they gave. It was Jamie, right? Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
I liked it, but.
And Luca, there are moments in the movie that do hit. Like there are some like very emotional moments in the movie, but it's like it's kind of one of those things they didn't really explore things fully. They kind of moved really quickly throughout the movie, and then there's a lot of moments that are just played for like just kids and laughs rather than like making it more of the emotional like heavy hitters.
And that's why I think Pixar is so interesting, because like this is probably the only company that adults can like critically like pick apart, because most kids movies are made for kids. Like Trolls, you can't be like, oh, but Trolls, and they didn't develop the story, and Trolls was made for kids specifically, and just colorful and all that stuff. Although I do think Trolls 2 did, talk about a little bit. But anyways, are there any revisions that we would make to this list?
So
looking back, I have one that I would recommend. Bug's Life dropping.
Okay.
I really like it, but the more I think about it, it's just the nostalgia of it.
You're right.
And the actual story, like I couldn't even tell you what happened at the end.
You're right. Nemo.
We gotta trade one then.
Trade one?
Put one in S.
I feel like Nemo can go up. Like
yeah.
I know what people think about Nemo. Like it's not. I would put Wall-E above Nemo, but like they're both solid.
I agree that it could be an S tier, but for me, Monsters Incorporated is better than Finding Nemo. Just like it was funnier. It just was cool concept of like the power and the scream, and so it was like a conflict between the humans and the monsters, but it had to be for the monsters where they wouldn't have a war. Like I liked it. It was a really, really clever thing.
I agree with that. I mean, I still remember the theme music to Monsters Inc.
Yeah, with the doors
whenever
swinging.
Monsters U came out. Yeah. It's just all the doors. I've seen Monsters Inc. way more, even though I've seen Finding Nemo tons of times. I forgot. I didn't even see Monsters Inc. on the list. I would have said that, put that to S.
I would say like it almost needs to be a different category of like just below S, because I think these three here, I would personally rank it like this, even though I'm not a huge Wall-E fan. If I'm being objective to what you all are saying, I think Monsters Inc. is the best below that, and like Cars for me is just like as much as I would want to hate Cars, because you cannot dislike it, and it's a rated G movie, right? Or like G. Usually it's PG, but I'm pretty sure this movie might be G, like the lowest level of kiddiness, and it like did it for me. And so that would be one. I honestly feel like the Toy Stories all could be A. I don't think, like thinking back, I don't think that they all are that far off of each other. And if you ask me like which one of the sagas that they actually made sequels to and stuff, I would rank Incredibles first, but Toy Story would be 2. And so if we have Cars having some D-tier movies and Incredibles at B, like I just think that they are consistently around the same. And so it almost should be just a Toy Story group to me.
I feel that.
But that's just me.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, they're all good movies. I mean, I know 4 was like a huge hit. I love 1 and 3, and then I know 2 is a really good movie. It's just,
and I know earlier I said 2 is like my least favorite. It wasn't bad. Like it, I don't want to say it in a
you went
negative
hard
way
on it
because I think Jessie was my favorite part of it, bringing her. But like other than that, I thought it just didn't it lacked in the story. Of 3 and 4 had a definite story, and the first one, no pun intended, the first one had a introductory story. It had, it did its purpose. 2 was the least substance. Well, it was, but 1 made sense with like the toys that had been jumbled together, and like I thought that was really clever stuff for that, especially for its time, because that was the first, right? The first Pixar.
Yeah.
And I said earlier, I don't want to do like, it's first of its kind, but like you have to factor that in at least in its own bubble, not in the group bubble, but in its own bubble of like, at that time, that story did like, wow, this is amazing. I think this is a pretty solid list though. You could definitely see our alliances here. Any last minute thoughts? I think this is it.
No, I like that list. Because I mean the top 3 are definitely top tier, and
I'll go watch the movies I haven't seen other than The Good Dinosaur.
Go watch Coco.
And I
know Coco's the main one.
I just haven't found the time to be like, it's time to watch Coco. Like,
yeah, same.
It's just like I know
That's something I want to go out of my way.
The thing is, but I know for a fact it's a bang. Like every time I've walked in the room, I'm like, this movie looks good. Like it's always when I go over to Cam's, and because that's their favorite. But like I just, it is what it is.
Yeah, I might like Coco better than The Incredibles.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Hot take.
No, it's not a hot take. I've heard Coco is up
But
there.
like it's
I've heard
it's a good
I've heard
movie.
it's up there.
All right. Well, this has been Tier List by the guys. Get at us. What do you guys think? How do we do?
Like,
What did we get wrong? Comment, share.
Comment. Don't drag me too bad. Appreciate y'all for joining us, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. Make sure you check out the guys podcast and our other tier lists on the channel, Facebook, and YouTube. You know where to find us. Peace.
You need to hit the like and please subscribe right now, cause you hanging with the guys.
How do I end the? How do I stop? I'm just kidding.